Hey there. Oh, look at me. I'm playing with my graphics today. Hey, it's Kat. And this is my live show. So, hopefully, you looked at the notes to see what our conversation is about today. And again, if you've never caught my live show, I am Kat Ramirez, CEO and founder of Advertise and hashtag Social Buzz. We help businesses stand out and grow. And today I want to talk about remote employees because we probably all have a few of them now, or we are probably working toward that, or we probably are a remote employee, right? So this conversation has come up for me with either other entrepreneurs or employees of other entrepreneurs. And so I think this is a great conversation to have now, and probably a good conversation to have ongoing. But before I go into this conversation, this is social media. So please drop a comment. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you're viewing me live, or I'm sorry, I have dogs at home. If you're viewing me live, or are you viewing me in the broadcast, a replay of this? And if you are, definitely let me know, because I would love to hear from you. Okay, so again, drop me a comment if you are live or in the replay. Let me know where you're watching from so that I know who's in the audience and I know who I should be talking to. Again, Kat Ramirez, and we're going to be talking about remote employees. And I can see you guys. I can see it tells me how many people are watching. So drop a comment. Don't be shy. Okay, so so let me just give you some background. So I had an actual office, and I've had a couple of offices. And hey, Ryan, thanks for watching. And I've had a couple of offices, and I've had a team of people that worked in the office. And so since the pandemic, we closed that office because that's what happened and that's what we had to do. And my team is now remote, and I have team members all over the place. So I have team members in, of course, the US, here in Wisconsin. I have team members that are in California, in New York, in South Africa, in Honduras, in Croatia, in Argentina. I mean, oh my God, I feel so very fortunate and blessed to have a very eclectic team. And so, so the thing about having a team that's remote and having a team that you have to manage that is remote is you have to empower people. You have to be able to trust people, and you have to be able to take off your what is it that you I know you want to micromanage them, but you can't micromanage them, because the reality is, if you choose to have remote employees, then you are choosing to have faith in your employees and trust them. We're all adults. We are all adults. And you know what is funny is, I remember when I was a sales manager for the big networks that I worked at, ABC, NBC, CBS, Telemundo, whatever. And when I had employees who were like trying to negotiate, they were trying to negotiate, hey, can I work, half from home, half from the office? And I remember I took it to my superiors. I would take it up because I would be like, well, let's see, let's ask. And when I took it to my superiors, they were like, hemming and hawing, like, well, they're just going to sit at home and watch TV. They're just going to do this and that. And the reality is, they're adults. They're adults. And so their fear or their resentment or resistance to having people work from home was their own personal insecurities. That was their own insecurities. And so they then fed me their insecurities. And of course, then I would have to be like them and say, well, we can't do it because blah, 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 blah. And to me, that is just a fear of corporate America. And it's funny because me as an entrepreneur, I don't care if my team works remote. In fact, when we had the office, I had one team member who it was a 45-minute commute. And she goes, can I just come in the office like 1 or 2 days and the rest work from home? And I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'm okay with that. That's fine. And so now to have my whole team remote, I mean, I think you should probably interview them. I should have them on here. You should interview them because they will tell you that I trust them. I trust them. I completely and utterly trust them because I know that they have a job, they have a role to play. And they're not just going around, goofing off or doing stupid crap or whatever that corporate people think people do. They're actually working and they know they have a function to do because, especially since we're a digital marketing company and we do social media, if they don't get that part done, it's not going to get done. Nobody else is going to do it. And so it's really is one of the, it's a proof performance. If they don't do it, then I will know because it's a proof performance. So thanks, Ryan, for saying that. I just have to read what Ryan said. Trust is huge. My stance is with my team working from home. Give me an honest 8 hours of work. The results will prove the time that's being put in. And I agree exactly. I completely and utterly agree. In fact, if you trust your team and you empower them, you actually get more out of them because this is something I have said to a lot of people. When I tell them, we are staying remote, I appreciate my team, I respect my team, and we'll continue the remote process. And the thing I tell people is, the remote team that I have today works way harder. They work way harder than the team that I had that came into an office. They're a completely different team and they're made up of different people, except for one. Actually two, me and another employee. But the rest are a completely different team, but they work so hard because they appreciate the fact that I allow them to work from home. It would be really hard for one of my employees from Argentina to transport to our office if we opened an office in Milwaukee. So they do work from home. They have the luxury of creating their own hours. They totally have the luxury of creating their own hours. They do have to meet with our clients. So they know that there are certain parts of the day, certain times that they have to be available. And they really work around those schedules, which is a win-win for me. It's a win-win for them. And so what I'm trying to share with you is, so one of my future employees, when I interviewed them, the whole reason they're talking to me and interviewing with me is they said, I work for a very big corporation. It is a very good company. They're well known. They're well established. They've been around forever, but I just don't like the office setting. There's so much drama. And he told me, and he goes, and I know I'm never going to get anywhere further than a level, the level, because it's huge. It is huge. And so he really wants more out of life, and he really wants more control over what he learns and what he does. And he said, that's why I want to work for a startup or an entrepreneur or a marketing company, because I really want to contribute. I want to contribute and I want to give more than just do the tactical work that I'm going to be expected at this corporate company, and we're going to keep his name, proprietary, and where he works proprietary, because again, here is the opportunity moving forward. Because I know hiring people is a very difficult thing. It's really, really hard to find really good people. I have been so lucky and so blessed to find really good people, really, really good people that I can trust and people that I have empowered. And those people have really taken the baton and ran with it. They are running with it, and they're empowering themselves and taking on leadership roles and taking on and empowering themselves to learn and do more. So the corporations are really going to miss out when they have this whole sense of insecurity of, yeah, my people can't work remote because, I don't trust them. I have another friend who is a peer, and she wanted to go visit her mom for like 3 months and just stay with her. I mean, we're in the pandemic. Who gives a shit, right? Who gives a shit? And the company said, no, you can't. No, because, and they are in a sales role, by the way, and they're doing everything virtual. And they said, no, you can't. You have to be here because we need to keep our finger on you. We need to keep tabs on you. That's basically what they were saying. And so she was kind of bummed about it because she really wanted to take care of her mom and be with her mom for like 3 months. And they're like, no, we don't trust you. Hello, what's wrong with you? That's basically what they said, right? I'm sorry, that's funny. But anyways, you get what I'm saying is remote teams, okay? They're very efficient, especially if you're hiring good qualified people who have tasks that they know they have to do, and you're empowering them and you trust them, and you're really letting them grow and blossom in your company. And again, this is a huge opportunity for anybody who is looking for people, because these corporations are really micromanaging their remote teams, because this guy does work remote, and he works for a corporation, and they're telling him, no, you can't do this. No, you can't do that. No, you can't do that. And he's like, well, okay. So now he's looking. Okay. He's looking. I got really lucky. He's looking, and he wants to work for a company that empowers him and believes in him and trusts him, and, is going to help him blossom and grow. So, this is a huge opportunity for a bunch of companies out there who have the same belief I do, where it's about really empowerment and growing your people and making them feel good about the choice that they're making to work at home. I love the fact that I can. And here's the thing, I'm not going to ask anybody to do anything I wouldn't do. In fact, I have encouraged my team, now that it's summer, or it's nicer outside, right? It's not exactly summer, but I wish it was. But, it's nicer outside. I've encouraged my team. I said, build your hours, work, harder Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, and take a Friday off. I don't give a shit. As long as the work is done, you are empowered to control your own schedule. I really believe in the 4-hour work week. If you haven't read the book, it's a really good book to read. But again, I empower my team. I empower my assistants. I empower the creative team, my social media managers, anybody on my team. I'm like, if you can get your work done and create a shorter week, so you have 3-day weekends every so often, go for it. I'm okay with it, because there's more to life than just like the grunge work. I mean, one day we're going to wake up, and you're going to be like, what the hell did I do with my life? Did I just work all the time? Okay. So Don left a message, and he goes, what are your thoughts regarding large corporate businesses during COVID-19 moving toward working remote and now wanting react this as the pandemic fear subsided? Also, my point view, I think it is great after hearing conversation with family and friends who traveled 2 hours to work. They have expressed remote gave them oh my God, I concur. New quality of life. Do feel the corporates will continue to trend and end it. Yes, I believe the corporations will eventually end it. I do, because I think the rumblings that I have heard from some people that I know that have worked in corporations is that they keep telling their team, oh, here's a projected date. We're projecting we're going to go back. Here is a projected date. They haven't nailed it yet, because we're not in a zone, the zone of security yet. So they haven't nailed it. Okay. My guess is it will be sometime in 2022 that you'll probably see the trend of corporations going back to work. But they're I would say, and this is what I call them. Thanks, Don, for that, because you have just hit it. You just right there. Thank you. But my thought on it is people who have work remote love it now because they're like, why the hell did I drive 2 hours and go to an office when I can do this at home? And again, the biggest thing for corporations is they are insecure. They're so insecure and they cannot live. It makes their body cringe to think, oh, they're working from home and they're probably in their sweats and they probably are really enjoying that. That's my guess. That's what I'm thinking corporations are thinking, when in reality, people are more productive. I'm telling you, and I'm a great case study. If somebody's doing a survey, if somebody's out there who's measuring, efficiency and effectiveness and the outcomes, if there is anybody out there, reach out to me, because I'm a great case study, because I can validate that the team I had in an office, we were in an office, how many years? 4 or 5 years when I started. Oh, I apologize. I do have dogs. I apologize. So when I was in an office for that long, it was so non-productive, I'm telling you, because the water cooler of going to go get coffee, going to do this, things like that, okay, was non-productive. To the team that I have that's remote, holy cow, it's like night and day. It is like night and day. And again, we use channels of communication. I have no need to know every second, every minute what my team's doing. They do a self check-in. So we have a remote program where it's measuring their work time. So they have a self check-in. They check in when they're working and they check out when they're not. So during the day, they can break up their day. I don't care if they work, if they happen to not be able to sleep and they want to work at 3 a.m. till 5 a.m, so be it. I mean, I have that problem, so I get it. Or if they want to do it all in the evening time because they just function way better. They do their personal stuff in the day because, nobody's out and about, so they can get stuff done. And then they can work, let's say, from 2 o'clock to, 8, 9 o'clock. So be it. I don't care. It doesn't bother me. I'm not insecure. And so, what I'm saying is, if this is you, if I'm describing you and you're insecure and have a remote team, I'm telling you, you got to be careful, because these people they're leaving ship, they're jumping ship because they love the remoteness, but they want the flexibility. They crave it. They love it. And I will tell you, I love the flexibility. I love the remote opportunity, and I love the flexibility. So why the hell would I make my team, why would I force an environment that I personally don't want anymore? I want quality of life. I think a lot of people have had an epiphany and they said, hey, this is great. I get to get up, go to my office. My office is in my living room, by the way. Get up, go to my office, be in my jammies. I'm not in my jammies. I actually am wearing clothes, like real clothes, like professional clothes. So I actually got up and got ready because I had a bunch of meetings today. But I get up, work in my jammies from the waist down or whatever, and be comfortable and be more productive, So that's the result of what is happening now and with remote teams. So what I'm saying is, if you have this apprehension, if you have this insecurity, you've got to figure out a way to get rid of it. Because if you want highly productive people, really, really productive people, I'm telling you, it happens with a remote team because there's so much trust and you're empowering them and they love it. They're just like gravitated to it and they're just absorbing it like it's ice cream or whatever it is that they like, whatever their vice is. And so, my suggestion to corporations, and I know there's some corporations out there watching me right now, my advice to you is loosen up, loosen up. Let these people, these valuable people that are very, well trained, they're educated, and they're responsible, have the freedom to have some flexibility with their schedule, because it does work and it is so empowering. And I'm telling you, I am a great case study of the before and after. And my team today, hands down, most productive team. I'm so proud of them, and they work and they care, and it's just like night and day, and it's just a big deal. So there are people, believe it or not, and these big corporations that are looking. So if you're having a hard time finding good qualified people, they are looking because they're ready to jump ship, because these corporations are really bullying these people that are working remote, and they're not allowing the flexibility. They think, oh, we've got them remote. They love us. They do. They have it made. They work for a blue chip company. We pay them really well. And now they're working remote. Oh my God, why would they leave us? And they get insurance and benefits and blah, blah, blah. But the one thing that is lacking in that is not even one, it's a couple things, is the trust, the flexibility, and the freedom to be able to leave that remote station and, let's say, work remotely somewhere else, where they'll still have the desktop, the tools, and everything that they have. They're just somewhere else, right? Somewhere else. So this is okay. I've really run this down and beat this to death, but I hope my message is really clear in the fact that there are remote workers, and there will continue to be remote workers. And I will tell you that there are people out there that are with big corporations that have nice, cushy jobs that just want the flexibility, because the thing they learned, the thing that they have taken away from the pandemic is life is short. Life is short. And I want to enjoy and appreciate where I live and what I do and what I spend my time on. And so it's no longer this big cushy, paycheck. It's no longer this big cushy job, or that big office in the, ceiling tower. It's no longer, those things don't matter to people. For some people, it will still matter, but for a lot of people, those things don't matter anymore. What matters to them is quality of life, respect, and trust, so that they can live their life and do the great things they can do with work, and give you that, offer that to you in exchange for quality of life for them and the flexibility to do the things that they want to do. So that's my song and dance on remote workers. So if I had to recap it for you, don't micromanage them. If you hired them and you trust them and you put your faith in them, they're going to do a great job, because you hired the best. And I can assure you they will be highly, highly productive. The less strings you hold on them. There are things you can do to keep order, because there are things I do to keep order. And so some examples of things I do that you can do if you aren't doing it, so that you feel a little sense of confidence or control, but not major, is have one-on-ones with your team. Especially your team leaders or the point people that manage the team members on your team. I have one-on-ones with all my social media managers. They're my account managers. So every week I have a one-on-one with them. We strategize. We talk about what's working, what isn't working. We talk about the team that they manage and what they're working on and things like that. So we have one-on-ones. And then the other thing we have is we have several team meetings. So I'm not a part of every team meeting. So they run their own team meetings. So there's team meetings for the social media managers. There's team meetings for the assistants. There's team meetings for the business development team. So there's team meetings for every bit and part of within our organization. And then we have a total team meeting. So everybody comes together, and we're doing all of this on Zoom, all of it. So we're really getting to know each other and really being friendly, because we have to get to know each other and like each other too. So we have our total team meeting, and that's usually conducted by me. And it's a great opportunity for me to find out, what each of the teams are doing, and they get a little shout out. I do my song and dance, and we train. We always have training and things like that. So there are things you can do to keep your finger on the pulse. If you are a control addict and a control freak, there are things you can do to keep your finger on that pulse. But I'm not a control freak, so I've never been. Oh, let me take that back. I have been a control freak because I was in the military. So I was a control freak, and I used to be obsessive, but corporate America taught me that. Corporate America taught me that. And entrepreneurship taught me how to let go and relax, cat. Let's chill out. That's what entrepreneurship taught me. And so when you can run a company and empower people and trust people, trust me, it runs like a well-oiled machine. And someone told me one time, they said, the time that you have when you can get away from your company, when you can take a break, the leadership, the person who leads your team, when you can take away and go away and the whole system runs smoothly without you, you have done a great job of leading your team to empower your team to lead. So think about that. So if you're one of those people that can't get away because you're like freaking out, like, oh my God, the whole system's going to fall down. Oh, the whole organization's going to fall apart. Then you haven't done a good job of empowering people to lead your team so that it runs like a well-oiled machine when you're gone. So think about that. Please think about that. Because I had a mentor tell me that one time, and I really took it to heart because it means a lot. I was able to take, when I went to Kentucky, I was able to take a whole week off, and not worry about the function of my business. And it ran like a well-oiled machine. And that's what you want. That's what you want. You want to empower the people so that it runs smoothly. So Don said, thank you. This is a great conversation. Over the pandemic, I have lectured on Zoom for theater companies, college, and art orgs, whereas I have used to have to say no because I couldn't travel because family issues. I have a Zoom meeting soon, but awesome. Thanks for joining, Don. I appreciate it. And thanks for the feedback. That is awesome. Thank you so much. Okay, I'm going to wrap this up. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you have any input, please drop a line, drop me a comment, reach out to me. I love having this conversation, and I love having this conversation with entrepreneurs who are challenged by having remote teams and by employees that are with corporations that are just agitated and really feel powerless. They feel powerless, and they feel like they are nobody in a system where it's huge. Okay. So think about that, because there's really good people out there to be cherry picked off of big companies. And those people want to be cherry picked. They do want to break away from that corporate regime because they're not interested in that big glass ceiling anymore. They're not interested. They want you. So make sure that if you're looking for people, put it out there. But talk about flexibility, talk about, working from home and having work-life balance and all those buzzwords, because that's what they want. That is exactly what they want. Okay. Okay. As I always wrap this up, thank you so much for joining me. I appreciate it. And I hope that you join me again next week. Again, my goal is to have my live every Thursday. I know I used to say Wednesday, but every Thursday around, what was it? 3 or 4 p.m. I will get this on target. I will, I promise. I just started my podcast again. So if you want to check out my podcast, please go to www.standoutgrow.com. That's my podcast. And I have started that up. And I'm really just starting up all my mechanical stuff because I like teaching. I like teaching and helping businesses, brands, or corporations stand out and grow and have a voice, and teaching you ways to do that. Until next time, you got this.